any other Muslim I'd ever spoken to raised, and showed, sadly, a tremendous familiarity with Ahmadiyya arguments, which are not the best arguments by any stretch of the imagination, but that's what they showed a familiarity with. And so the point is, the things that he would be talking about in his journey, the things he had to overcome, the beliefs that he had to see fundamentally modified on the basis of examination and thinking through and so on, the exact same things in a Sunni would have to be addressing. And so his testimony and his presentation is very, very relevant as a result of that. But there needs to be the open acknowledgement Sunnis reject the Ahmadi as being Christian, and so let's move with it from there. So there you go. I am noticing someone in channel mentioning something about the Seventh-day Adventists, and I do think that David said something along those lines. I'm not sure if David knows that the concept of investigative judgment. I don't know. I've not talked to him about it. Obviously, for me, Seventh-day Adventism falls in the same category as Roman Catholicism in regards to its gospel, and in regards to the fundamental compromise of that gospel that the idea of the investigative judgment involves. And so here's this video, which look, last night there's been a lot of confusion. Yesterday there was some comments made on Facebook by Len Pettis, who I guess is the co-host of the Bible Thumping Wingnut program, not the actual Bible Thumping Wingnut. And we all know that J.D. Hall was on there recently talking about the switched meme. I call it the switched meme. It was, let's move over into a discussion of these other areas of Christian liberty and holiness, and because James White doesn't want to talk about holiness, has never talked about holiness his entire life. But he made a comment. He was asked if he had watched a video. Now, I made a mistake because the video was David Wood's video. But I thought it was a different thread, and I thought he was talking about the Apologia video. Well, his response was less than responsive. And he made the comment, after 20 minutes, I just couldn't stand the arrogance. I turned it off. He actually said something beyond that, but I don't find it to be appropriate language, at least for this program. And I tried to think back once I found out what he was referring to. David, one of the things that I don't do that David does do is David will post, and Sam does this too, some of the wild-eyed, profanity-filled death threats that he gets regularly. And he gets a lot of them because both he and Sam push certain buttons with regularity, use certain terminology, address certain topics. What's that? Yeah. And so he gets some really interesting stuff. That's, he's used to dealing with the nastiest Salafis, Wahhabis out there. The wild-eyed jihadists, those are the kind of folks that he's normally dealing with. So Len described his approach as arrogant. Well, that was never a thought that crossed my mind in listening to David's presentation. What I was getting was a clear communication on David's part to to the good old boy from down south, Seth Dunn. Son, you got no idea what you're getting into here. you got no idea. And basically, what he was saying was, you want to tango? I'm sorry, you got no idea who I tango with, and you ain't up to it. So you want to go the mat? Bring it on, buddy. You're gonna be toast. Is basically what he was saying. And I guess Len found that to be just extremely arrogant. Even though in the first 20 minutes, I'm not sure how you get that in the first 20 minutes. No, it was the end where David did the throwdown, where David said, "You want to come after Nabil? Come after me, son." And Seth, I'm trying to tell you, I know you don't listen to me, and you don't take much advice. Don't be stupid, son. don't be stupid. He is way out of your league. Hey, way out of your league. Okay, don't go there. Just really, if anybody who's in Seth Dunn's life who can say something to him, because he won't listen to me, obviously. He's even decided to start coming after me now too. Try to warn the boy, because this is not good. This is no. Now, obviously, David's never going to do anything physically harming or something to Seth Dunn, but the man's been through stuff that most of us have not been through. You watched his testimony? It's amazing. Really well done, too. I don't know who came up. David, if you came up with that idea, that was just brilliant. It's just one of the best testimonies I've ever seen. David's been through stuff that I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, I can't think of anybody who has a more completely different background than I do. I mean, I could not possibly think of it. And could David and I debate a few things? Well, probably, I suppose. Is the fact that I can look at David Wood and go, amazing grace, and yet still disagree with him, doesn't that say something? And, I really feel badly for you if you can look at David Wood's testimony and then not rejoice in the fact that God saves a lot of different kinds of people. I just, some of my Reformed brethren, the joke has been,